Hey everybody, my name is Felix and I want to show you a new feature that just arrived on PTV Developer. If you want to follow along the video, check in the video description, there's a link, and this link will bring you to the starting page that you see right here, which is the landing page of our PTV Developer platform. The feature that I want to show you is located as part of our routing API. You have to go to Documentation, Routing API, go to Code Samples, Routing, scroll all the way down to Vehicle Parameters at Waypoint. This is also the name of the feature that I want to show you. Vehicle Parameters at Waypoint will enable you to change, as the name suggests, the vehicle parameters at the waypoint of your routes. When is this feature useful? Imagine the scenario that you're out for delivery. You have different customers that you want to reach. These would be your waypoints, so the points where you want to stop, and you want to unload your deliveries at your customer locations. This, of course, will mean that your vehicle will be much lighter going along the route. And you might be able to take different streets that you wouldn't be able to take otherwise. And you will, of course, emit a lot less emissions than before because your vehicle will be lighter. Exactly this scenario is showcased in this little code sample. We can see here at the start is the URL, so the point of our endpoint where we send our request. And in the URL, we also have specified that our vehicle has an empty weight of 3 tons and that we want to return a polyline, which would be the route that we will take later, and that we also want to calculate emissions according to a specific standard named here. And we have in this little showcase only 3 points that we want to drive, or where we want to drive. These points are also listed on here, which is the code of the payload that we will send to this URL. We start our journey at waypoint A, which is a small little village close to Luxembourg called Betang. Excuse my pronunciation, I'm not from Luxembourg, but we start there and we take a load of 1 ton. So we put this onto our vehicle, and our vehicle will now weigh 4 tons at the starting point of our journey. The next point of our journey is waypoint B, which is again a small little village, just a little bit north of our starting point, and the village is called Dipak. And there we unload the 1 ton that we just put onto our vehicle. So basic math, our vehicle now weighs only 3 tons. And from waypoint B, we will drive to waypoint C, which is the small village of Holzem, also just north of our waypoint B. And you can see there are 2 streets going to Holzem, one which is a pretty direct distance to our end location, but this street is only a small little road, and you're only allowed to drive on this road if your vehicle weighs less than 4 tons. The other option is to take a big detour over 2 small villages and go all the way around. If we press the button Send Request, we will send the request to our endpoint. And for demonstration purposes, we not only send 1 request, but we send 2 requests, and we get 2 responses. One where we use this new feature, where we apply the different vehicle parameters at waypoints, and one where we don't use the feature and just drive the route with a vehicle weight of 4 tons. You can see the visual representation of the results returned down here. These are the 2 polylines that we said that we want to return. In blue is the route that is calculated with the 4-ton vehicle, and in orange is the vehicle which first drives with 4 ton to Dipak, then unloads the 1 ton, and then continues with a load weight of 0 and the sum of the weight with 3 tons. We can see that we can take a much shorter route with the new feature. And we can also see this in the distance and the travel time, which increases a lot if we don't adjust the waypoints or the weight at the different waypoints. And the cool thing is that not only we can see the reduction of distance and travel time, but we can also see that the emissions that are calculated are much lower when we are taking the shorter route, which is also quicker than if we take the long detour. But the super cool thing about this feature of modifying the vehicle parameters is that not only will your emission be lower when you're taking a shorter route, which of course is quite logic, but also if distance and travel time would be the same between those two locations, but you drive with a vehicle that is not as heavy, you will also get the correct emissions calculated because your vehicle will not need as much fuel to travel the distance. And this will be presented in the emissions calculation. I hope you like this feature. I think it's very cool. You can also check out more in the documentation and play around with the code sample, because you can not only change the load weight of the vehicle, you can change all kinds of vehicle parameters, which are also defined in the different concepts pages of our routing API. And there you can, for example, change the weight, the length, the height of the vehicle, all kind of things. As I said, feel free to play around with it. And don't forget to like and subscribe the video. And I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.